Happy Thursday, everybody. This week we were talking about PTSD and anxiety, and today is me sharing my struggles and my situations with it. So we don't have, all the time in the world for me to explain all of them, but I'm going to give you some of them. So anxiety is really well, anxiety is really the reason that made me realize maybe uncontrolled anxiety is the reason that made me realize that I need to step down from being a police officer. So I've had family members involved in serious incidences where I've responded to, and I got to the point of every call that came out, every tone that came out that was a medical. I was I had that instant rush of anxiety, uncontrollable. My lips were numb, my hands were numb. Like I kept going down the cycle, like, I don't know what's going on. I was crying. I was like, and I was supposed to be responding to calls, guys. Like I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm fine, the person's fine, da, 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 da. But what is going on? I was so frustrated with myself that I couldn't get a handle of it. And when I realized that my response, I wouldn't have been in the clear mind and clear headed, that's when I pulled myself from law enforcement. Not only for like the civilians who I was going to respond to and help, but for my partners as well. So that is why I pulled myself from law enforcement, is because of that adrenaline, the responses, the hyper vigilance that was like way up, the hyper arousal that I just couldn't um, do on my own and fix on my own. And I was continuously re-triggering all that stuff, right? So I had to remove myself from law enforcement. So I had anxieties about where certain locations and like avoidance things. Guess that's something you could call it, but like large crowds, certain places, people to talk to, noises, certain foods that people ate before I responded to their calls I can never eat again, certain nail polish colors that I can never put on my toes again, like all these different things that became like a byproduct of my um, life as not a police officer afterwards. Like, it was all still happening to me. And to circle back, that those things I realized after I left law enforcement. I didn't know those. I mean, I kind of did, but like I didn't really realize how much they had affected me until after I left law enforcement. Um, but I also excluded myself from my friends. Like, I thought everybody knew, and everybody thought I was crazy, and everybody was like, "Who's this crazy girl? Like, this couple, we can't trust her." I mean, especially when, oh, this is horrible. When I went to go get my stuff, like 3.5 months later, because I was officially done, and when I went in my locker, my duty weapon was gone, and I was like, I understand why they did that, but that's like my lifeline, my whole career in my life. So when that was actually taken away, that was really that was really tough on my anxiety and myself, because it made me feel like more people were thinking I was crazy when it was something I was trying to avoid in the first place. Blech. So that sucks. I understand why you have to do it, but it sucks being on the other end, because that was like that's what protected you and the civilians, and once that's taken away, it sucks. So this is long enough, but I'll go live and chat more about it tomorrow. All right, we'll see ya.